this side our coach of the Sixers, bringing you the season review of my run of the Challengers League, or the YCL for short. Uh, Unfortunately, uh, our season has been our run for the season has ended um, much earlier than I was hoping for, but there's, there's nothing I can do, I guess. Congrats to my opponent again, Kings Rock, for winning, and luck to him with the rest of the playoffs. That extends to all the remaining coaches as well. Commiserations to uh, the ones that lost. I share that that feeling, I guess, of having to lose at this round. But I mean, I thought I'll take the time to reflect on the season, and to be honest, I enjoyed the inaugural season of the YCL. It is the first league I've ever done where everyone had to upload a video, and I think pretty much everyone did at first. I think towards the end it started to tail off. Some people did either lag behind or just not like, how do I say it? So did not make videos for it. So that's a little bit of a bummer. There was a few matches I'd like to have seen my opponent's perspective, but it can't be helped, I guess. So in terms of the season review, I kind of just want to go step by step, and starting from the draft. I was pretty happy with the draft, to be honest. I think the fact that I did not change my team except from the initial, the preseason change. We had one transaction at the beginning of each season, and I changed from the drafted Kung Fu to Scrag. So okay, let's check out the team. So here's the team I drafted in the exact order I drafted them at, and with that first pick, I was surprised to even get Cinderace. I was ninth in the order, and the Pokemon I really wanted, well, not really wanted, but I wanted, thinking that I would get at 9, was sniped. Just like number 8 sniped it, so the National Media King. So but I highly I adapted to that. Yeah. So looking at the team as a whole, I enjoyed the team. It was fairly obvious. There were some Pokemons I liked more than others. In terms of the team as a whole, like Cinderace, exactly what I expected. It's funny enough, I think this is the 5th time in a row that I've drafted Cinderace, and this league is, I think, even though I brought him every game, I think the amount of turns he was on the field was the least out of every time I've drafted Cinderace. I'm trying to remember. I think there might have been one time where I didn't even I brought him, but he didn't have any turns on the field. I can think of 3 instances where I brought him, but he was on the field for 1 turn. He turns out, and then I didn't use him for the rest of the match. So, funny enough, that I brought him every match, but he's never on the field. But I always argue that Cinderace's value is outside of actual battle. It's in the team building. On paper, he's more dangerous. He's more effective than he is on the actual field. So There's nothing I'm going to say about Cinderace. It's a Pokemon I will use. I'll continue to draft if I have the opportunity to. Um, yeah. uh, Flygon's the same. It's second time I've ever drafted Flygon. On top of that, second time in a row. Um, and he's just further like managed to do more than I anticipated. It is my most. I think at the end of the regular season, I know it was had the third highest kills in the whole league, and that's like competing against like things like Teeny, what are the other big ones I'm trying to think of. Teeny is the only one I can think of at the moment for some reason. It did fall behind Nidoking and Azumarill, which is I think not surprising. In particular, Nidoking, given Harry's team seems to rely on his offense is built around that Pokemon, so it's great. The Nidoking, Nidoking's I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite. I prefer Nidoqueen, but still, I do enjoy Nidoking. But that said, I think Flygon has been just surprising in terms of how much how flexible he is. Definitely, I believe I've used 6 different natures for Flygon. When you compare it with most of my other Pokemons, I've only ever used 2. I think the defensive ones were either Bold or Calm, and the offensive ones were either like Jolly, Adamant, Modest, or Timid. So yeah, it's good to see that I have a Pokemon that's very flexible in terms of the nature as well. In terms of what I like, Serena did what I expected. I do want to explore Serena a little bit more in future seasons. It has that power. 120 base attack is nothing to scoff at. That's even higher than Cinderace's. That speed is what really lets it down, but again, it has rapid spin, so it can boost its speed. I just wish I could fit it into my team a little bit better. I think I need a team that's probably support it a bit better if I wanted to use it more offensively. Mushana, I didn't bring it as much. It in the regular season it came out. No, I brought it twice in the regular season, but didn't even spend a single turn on the field. So it's closest thing to a bench warmer I had. And Duraludon's a bit of a Duraludon and Raichu are a bit of a disappointment on my end. Duraludon, I think, as a steel type, it's not that great. I'm not saying I'm not going to use Duraludon again, but the fact that it doesn't resist a lot of the types that you want a steel type to resist, it hurts it. And I think if I was to use Duraludon again, it's definitely I would have to pair it up with another steel type, like I did the first time I used it. So Raichu, I think it did well into MVL Season 2, so that's why I drafted it, but I found it really hard to fit it on this team. Yeah, I can't say. There was also a lot of electric grab and resist. The electrical immune and resist Pokemon's on my team, on my opponent's team, so I found it really hard to just justify having Raichu on the field. Now the big surprise, I guess, is Clefable. Clefable I knew was good, but I always have considered it like it shouldn't be top tier, right? The stats like kind of middling throughout all, but you know what? I eat my words. Like, yeah, Clefable definitely deserves to be on top. It is the peace of mind the fact that it can just tank any hit, physical, special. It doesn't matter. Especially with that unaware ability. I did that one time, try to use it as a attacking physical attacker for some reason, but I, I definitely would want to try to uh, draft Clefable more in the future. I always hesitant about it because I thought it was just too expensive for what it is. Uh, but it isn't. It's great. It's uh, yeah. I look forward to exploring Clefable even more in the future. Scraggy, I think, was another uh, great pick. I I do hope to maybe try Scrafty sometime in the future. Um, it I really only just used it so I could really check those special ghost types, but yeah, I I enjoyed Scrafty, um, and it did manage to get a KO, so that's interesting. um, but yeah, it just makes me want to try Scrafty sometime in the future. I was hesitant on Scrafty, but I feel more confident trying it out. A Whirlipede, there's nothing much to say. I bought it one time, first week. I was expecting not to bring it at all throughout when I drafted it, but it did what it had to do. So, um, and honestly, Jellicent, I think, is my MVP for the season. Uh, it has. I always drafted it as a defensive Pokemon that could just call like a defensive pivot, basically come in, force my opponent to change up the field position. But you know what? It just keeps stepping up. It keeps like doing more than I need it to. I always think that I always fear when I have defensive Pokemon that I usually try to have two because I don't want to. I'm scared of just like I don't know, being overwhelmed by attacks, but Joseph consistently just can take the hits and just peel it off, and at the same time just cripple my opponents, uh, force them to switch. Uh, yeah, I just the impact it had on just key matches like in the first week and the last week of the regular season. Like those two stand out as just Jellicent doing work. So I definitely MVP of the team for me. Even though Flygon was my highest got the highest kill, I do think wins were basically just rested on the. See, I wasn't even relying on Jellicent for those wins, but I think Jellicent just steps up and just take the load and did the heavy work in those wins. So yeah, definite MVP. Um, uh, as so, how I did in the season, I think. Well, let's go to the standings when we go to the regular season, and I ended up second overall. I was a bit short on getting that first ranked. Could have straight away gone into the division finals, but I was. That means Austin Torres did have to lose, and I mean, even if he lost by -1, he would. Uh, I would have gone into the division to be first. So it was a really close match. Um, a real must-win for Torres if he wanted that first rank, and he did. Um, and yeah, I'm happy with my how I played throughout the season. I think I started off really slow, trying to get used to the team, and I did stumble at the end of week 3. I was 1 win, 2 losses, and it was a slow build up. But I think towards the end, that's when I really got used to the team, really get into the battles. I feel like my sense of like my battling during the match, during the battles, was getting better. I feel like my team building was always my greatest strength. Like, I was better at team building than I was at battling, but I think I've vastly improved in both areas, especially towards the end. And I think that really is reflected on my record throughout the season. So if we look at the first like 5 weeks, you can see I won the first week by one, lost by one in the second week, I lost by four in week three, and then climb back up. I won by one by two. So there's not a lot to say about what that I haven't said in the mid-season review for the first 5 weeks. So, but if we look at the tail end, that's when you can see I was starting to get 4-0, 5-1, 4-0, 4-0. So I was really just I was firing. I think with the team building and the battling itself. So I think if I was to sum the whole season, I think it was a great growing experience for me. I think as a person just playing these draft leagues, and B, just like my sense of just playing on in general, or battling, doing these battles in general. And I'd like to think that my videos are getting better throughout the season. I did change mics, so I did have like a new headset. So, and I think the audio quality is a lot better than it was at the beginning. So, with that said, I do want to finish off by saying, like, thanks to the whole YCL. The coaches were really friendly, and they're fun to watch their videos. The ones that I have seen, I'm pretty sure I've seen everyone's week 1 match. So, yeah, watching 18 videos in 1 week was something. But I did watch. I do watch a few throughout each week. Not the same coaches all the time, but I do watch them. And they're all fun to watch. I especially want to thank the admin team for the YCL. That I'd be like Sen, Faust, Mountain. Those three are just, making this as best as it can be. I think, especially that when due to personal issues, the original commissioner could not continue with the league. Those three stepped up to really do bring the YCL to what it is right now, and so I really appreciate what you guys did. I did apply for second season, so I do hope that I do get a chance to play through the YCL again. I don't know if that making an application guarantees a spot, but I'd like to think that with that application and my my performance in this first season would grant me a spot. But we'll see. I believe second season will start at the beginning of February, so early February. Not necessarily the beginning, but early February. So we'll see till then. So I guess from now on, until then, there's not going to be any more YCL content. I do have another draft league lined up, so I'll probably start doing uploading for those soon. But yeah, until the next time, whether it's in the NBL season 3, which is the one I've got coming up, or YCL season 2. I hope you guys. I hope I see you guys. Otherwise, hope you guys have a great day, and see ya.